On this day in 1955, something changed the music industry as we know it. The practicing of whitewashing in the music industry during the 1950s involved white artists covering songs by black artists, often with changes to the lyrics and style to make them more appetizing to the mainstream audiences of that time, predominantly white folks. This practice not only altered the original works, but also affected the visibility and recognition of black artists in the music industry. So, I say that to say this: Georgia Gibbs' Dance With Me, Henry, Wallflower, is notably an example of this trend. The original song by Etta James, known as Roll With Me, Henry, but Roll With Me, Henry was a hit on the R&B charts, but it was considered too risque for pop radio at the time. In addition to replacing roll with dance, Gibbs' version omitted lines like, "If you want romancing, you better learn some dancing," and toned down the lyrics and changed the musical style. And just like that, it became a pop hit, illustrating the racial barriers in the music industry during that time. This practice had broader implications, as if it often denied black artists the credit and financial benefits they deserve for their work, while white artists who covered their songs gained fame and fortune. The impact of these actions is still discussed today as part of the complex history of race relations in American music industry.
I was there when I needed someone who wasn't getting over you. When I move to the side, when I move, call you mine, and I know what you're feeling. I'ma take you for a ride, let me take it off your mind, cause you know it's a scene.
I want to thank y'all for tuning back in to the Bobby Bands Podcast Season 2. We got a doozy for you. So, we have a viewer to send in a question. And this is the question that they sent. Bobby Bands, my future stepdaughter who is 12 destroyed my wedding dress a week before the wedding and her dad just took her phone. I'm torn between giving her another chance or calling off the whole thing. I'm beyond frustrated right now, and I'm on the verge of giving my fiance an ultimatum that I really don't want to give. We've been dating for 3 years and have been engaged for a year, with our wedding date in a week. His ex is still in the picture because of co-parenting. She doesn't like me one bit. His daughter and I have had a bit of a strained relationship, but she's been really snooty and nasty to me. She makes cutting comments and will respond with, "You're not my mother," when I ask her to stop. My fiance has tried to set down ground rules, but she tells him that I'm not gonna last. But I put up with it because I love him. Seriously, she's not a horrible kid. She gets good grades in school. She's in the youth symphony and takes dance classes. She's really popular, bubbly, and friendly when she isn't being mean to me. It's like Jekyll and Hyde. My fiance and I have talked about it constantly and have involved his ex, but she just brushes it off, telling me to mind my own business. We have tried therapy, groundings, and everything else you can think about, but nothing works. She's only getting worse after 3 years. What are your thoughts? So, you probably aren't gonna like my response, but you gotta walk away, sweetheart. You know, after 3 years and this shit is still at this level and it's only getting worse, it won't change. Trust me. Like, it's not gonna change. Like, there's no ultimatum you can give him. Like, think about it. Like, he's the dad. You guys aren't married yet. You're engaged, yeah, but technically you're just in a relationship, a serious relationship, but you're still just in a relationship. And he sounds like he's always gonna choose his kid over you. And, you know, in certain situations, that's cool. But the fact is, like, he hasn't set any hard boundaries. Like, that says a lot. You know, therapy only works if the kid is willing and wanting to try to make things work with you. And clearly, this kid doesn't want to do that. You can say he's tried to do everything, But when she cuts up your dress and the only thing he did was take her phone and nothing else, I'm sorry, but nothing's gonna change. Like nothing at all. Maybe her mom is great. Like maybe she's a good mom. But you know, if your fiance is telling your ex these things, if your fiance is telling his ex these things, and she's still doing what she's doing, maybe the mom is kind of encouraging this behavior. You know, I'm not gonna say she is, but allegedly, she's probably encouraging this behavior. Based off of what you said, based off of what I'm hearing, his kid is number one. I know one thing when it comes to marriages is that your kids aren't number one. Your spouse is number one. And it sounds crazy to a lot of people, but until he's married, and even if he does get married to you, like his kid is probably still going to be number one. You know, so you got two things to do. Like you can suck it up and keep accepting the abuse, or you can call it quits. And like, think about this. Another thing to think about. What if you all want more kids? Like, do you trust your new kid, your baby? Do you trust them that they'll be safe growing up in this kind of environment if that kid is bullying you? You know, you can love someone, but love is not always enough. You know, I don't see anything changing if after all of these years it's only getting worse. So I made the decision for you, or you can continue to do what you're doing. All I'm going to say is that you got a decision to make. You know, do you want to stay and live a life where 50% of the time you're being abused by a little punk ass kid? Or do you want to walk away and find a relationship where you aren't being abused? You want to be able to find someone that can share the same love that you have and see what you all can accomplish together. Look, his daughter is a product of her upbringing. Like, let's be serious. Obviously, he's done some talking to her about how the way she's treating you, because I know that you've probably been voicing these concerns for years now. But I'm also going to say that the dad, your fiance, is not completely innocent himself. Like, my guy only confiscated her phone for ruining your whole wedding dress. Like, that's hardly a big reaction. A more fitting reaction would have been to call the police and have this kid whisked away to the depths of the earth. No, I'm just playing. But taking her phone as a punishment, like, was not the move. I think the biggest punishment would be if your fiance would finally set some boundaries with his daughter's mom, mainly. Like, the punishment doesn't have to be discussed with her first. You know, you're supposed to be his new family, right? Like, you're supposed to be his new family. All I'm going to say is co-parenting doesn't mean that every single decision must be checked with the other parent. Trust me, I know. I was already going to say leave him the moment I started reading your question when I got the email, but something did change in me. You know, I saw something that I wanted to say differently. I saw something that I probably shouldn't have said. And the only thing that I would change, I would add now, right after leave. Just keep in mind that your mental health does come first. So if you are involved in a situation like this and nothing seems to change, you got to put yourself first. Like, there's no reason to put yourself through hell because you love this man, you love this woman, and their kid is terrorizing you. I want to to thank everybody for tuning in to another episode of the Bobby Bands Podcast. I want you to like, subscribe, share this video. So let's get to it. A lot of you are here to see if you won their $150 gift card giveaway. It's probably the only reason you watched this first video, but that's neither here nor there. You probably fast forward all the way to the end just to see if your name is getting picked. You know, I want to thank Unpopular Demands, Mr. Tum Tum himself, for joining me in this giveaway, and we will have many more. But let's go ahead and see who the winner is. And for the first giveaway of the Bobby Bands Podcast, we have Mr. Windsor Williams. Mr. Windsor Williams, thank you again for the support. We have the gift card coming your way. And we have a lovely, lovely Bobby Bands basket, or maybe a bag. So be looking for that. It's getting shipped your way. I will be trying to get your address, so let me know. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Please don't be a stranger just because your ass didn't win. There will be more giveaways. Until then, the best way to lead is to learn how to follow. Peace.
Damn it, Bobby.